them come. This is their fate.
All right. Let me go burn my hand. All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got quite a bit to talk about. We're going to actually try to get to Drake this time. I mentioned it last time and never got to it, so I edited it out. But we're going to try to get to Drake's information or whatever that album, whatever you consider that album to be. But we're going to get to that. We're going to get to some stuff about Xbox because they finally closed their deal and what that means for Activision and what that means for Game Pass. And then we're going to also talk about a few other things thrown in there. Omni-Man coming to Mortal Kombat 1. That looks amazing. And some other stuff. But we got a lot to talk about, so we're going to get into it. But before we do, as always, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how you been, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, how's life going, what you've been playing. One of y'all start first.
Let's see what I've been doing. I've been playing phone tag, aka video game tag, with Deontay and Jalen. Trying to get them on Call of Duty beta. That was out this week. We got to play like one afternoon, and it was cool. I like the beta. I think the content that was in there was very light, but it was good. So I think we might have a new game to buy, but we gotta convince everybody to pull the trigger at the same time because I ain't gonna be first this time.
Jalen gonna be first. Jalen the one that be pulling out, and you gotta get it digitally because we don't trust him.
Man, what?
Yeah, right. Yeah, digital only, my boy. You can't return. No return, man.
Yeah, that's over with.
How, G? That's the only way we can trust it. We can trust that it's gonna be done.
Man, I ain't traded the game stop in probably like 2 years, bro. You ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, yeah, we still trying to figure that out, but continue, Josh.
Yeah, other than Call of Duty, I actually haven't been playing anything else. I wanted to like play an older Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2 or even Modern Warfare 2019 one. Yeah. But they want like $50 used, and then it's like if you buy it on the store, it's still a brand new price. So I just been playing Warzone because that's the only thing in that it's like Call of Duty related that's free. Mm-hmm. I think it's better from when we played it in the beginning, but I had to ask the expert Jalen about what was actually improved or not. It's still
Warzone 2.0 you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, is the other one still online? I don't know.
They cut it off, so just Warzone now. You're right.
They cut it off.
Warzone.
Yeah, Warzone is no longer. It's just Warzone 2.0, or the one you don't like is the main one now. The other one got shut down.
Yeah, well, it's I know that people were saying that some like mechanical stuff changed, like the mounting speed and sliding and stuff like that. One thing I noticed is that it's a lot more stuff is automatically looted for you, so you don't have to like specifically pick up like
one individual thing.
Yeah, weapons you still have to pick up, but like armor plates and stuff like that, it'll just automatically pick it up for you. So I feel like I'm not constantly looking at the ground like I was when we first played it. So other than that, Warzone, it seems cool. I feel like the map is still too big, and for most modes, they're like 40-player modes. They do have like a large 120-player mode, but for the 40-player modes, these maps are way too big. It's a lot of downtime. But yeah, I guess we into Call of Duty again and Overwatch. We got a lot of updates to talk about of like first-person shooters like Halo and stuff. Everybody dropping their updates around this time, so hopefully we can all try them out. But that's it for me. It's not much for me.
Okay, well, I mean, yes, we was playing Call of Duty. Yes, we are interested in it, but we are no way, shape, or form Call of Duty players. So we want to make sure that's clear. We just we used to enjoy Modern Warfare, the originals 2 and 3, and then I think y'all like 1, 2, I don't remember, and Black Ops and all that good jazz when it was at their that prime time to play Call of Duty. But that fell off quite quickly for me. I think the last one I bought was Advanced Warfare. And then after that, I haven't played a Call of Duty since.
Last one I bought was Ghost.
Yeah, and then came along Modern Warfare 2. I was able to get it for free. Didn't play it that much. I played Cold War, but I didn't play it online. I just played the story, and that was it. So, and that was one of those buy two get one frees from Target situations. So I was like, I just get Call of Duty. But overall, for the masses out there, we really aren't Call of Duty people. Jalen used to play Warzone, but I still can't pinpoint what exactly he hated about Warzone 2.0 outside of, I think what you say, Jalen? Was it movement that really bothered you? That was it, right?
Man, they messed up the movement. They had that Modern Warfare 2 type, like engine or whatever, the gameplay, the gravity, whatever you want to call it. It was it was more Modern Warfare 2 than the Modern Warfare 2019. Like I said, the movement. And it was just a slower paced game. Like, I didn't really like the whole Caldera, the big maps and stuff like that. Like the Rebirth of this fast pace. You had the movement. You didn't have to have limited backpack space. You didn't have to go down and pick up stuff. Limited ammo. Mm-hmm. Like the ammo is limited, but you got to go pick the ammo up, and you be like, well, my backpack too full. I need to put some ammo down. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to play PUBG, bro. Like, just put back. Just, they just should have just let the game work
anymore.
Yeah, it was just stuff like that, man. I'm just looking like, bro, y'all slowed this game way down because y'all didn't like some of the things, or I don't know, people complained, they didn't like it. I don't know what it was, but slowed it entirely down. I ain't even saying they need a slide canceling in there, but they literally, if you slide in that game by even accident, they like, nah, bro, you got to complete your slide. Then you can't even reload cancel. Reload cancel is a big part of Call of Duty, and they will not let you do that. If you start reloading, stop your reload. I got to pick it back up where I left off because you ain't let me finish. You feel me? Like, you ain't, like, that's stupid, bro. Like, I was just like, bro, y'all really just trying to really slow this game down and just making these minor tweaks. Like, reload cancel been a part of Call of Duty for the longest. Like, you don't want to reload. I got 19 bullets in a clip, double tap, triangle, or Y, whatever game you playing, just to stop the reload so you can, engage if you need to, versus like, I got to reload now. Like, all that's, it's just a lot of components. I'm just like, y'all doing too much, bro. So,
yeah.
Cheap.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, we weren't the biggest fans of it previously. I think Modern Warfare 2 literally had to be the worst one that people hated the most. Modern Warfare got away with it. Cold War got away with it. But this one, Modern Warfare 2, people hate it. I played it a little bit last night because obviously there's some carryover. So this game, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3 has this continuation thing that you can actually legitimately just share stuff between them. I don't think it's Modern Warfare, but I think it's Modern Warfare 2 and 3. You can share and that's why people call it a DLC. But the fact that they changed so much, brought back a lot of the movement, make it feel really good to play. It's actually fun again. So, again, I didn't play Modern Warfare 2. I wasn't thinking about movement at the time. I was just thinking this is not a fun game for me to play alone anyway. And when I went back to it after playing the Modern Warfare 3 beta, it kind of really showed how bad it really was. Because I didn't know. Honestly, I was just, you know how you just a casual person. You're not really caring about most of that stuff. But when you go back and you realize how much you liked Modern Warfare 2, 3, and the previous trilogy, and you're like, why did I like this so much, not the other? It was really the fast-paced movement, the crazy twitchy plays, and like kind of that fun factor of being able to take down multiple enemies. Felt like in Modern Warfare 2, you really only had the shot to take down one person, and if you had to reset before you can try again, because it really wasn't going to be a quick time to kill. It wasn't going to be out playing someone. It was really, if they got the sights on you and they shoot you first, you're kind of going to die. And with this one, it feels a lot better, as in I've gotten out of fights multiple times just because of how quickly you can move around the map and retreat. So, and they added a little bit of extra health. So it's just nice that they're actually doing the things that they kind of needed to do to turn it around. And I'm looking forward to Modern Warfare 3. But again, the only way we're going to buy it is if, you know, everybody get it. I don't think I'm going to get it if I got to get it alone. It's just not interesting enough. But I think there's plenty there, and it's giving me a reason to put some time into Modern Warfare 2 so I can unlock the weapons. But that game, it sucks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I couldn't handle it. I was like, I don't know what the heck this is, but it's so slow paced. The sensitivity on the controllers feels so off. It's so weird, and I don't think they ever fixed it. I think that was been a problem with Xboxes for a while, about the, you know, input and inaccuracies on that game. But yeah, since I can't play it on PC, I'm gonna have a hard time going back to even play that one for the next 3 weeks. Trash, bro. Yeah,
like I literally went from Modern Warfare to go even Cold War. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cold War is integrated Modern. Like it was straight, but like the little bit I played with it. But Modern Warfare 2, literally, it felt like the game where they tried to fix a lot of different things. Yeah, and it just created this pigsty of mess. And like Modern Warfare 3, I don't even like the little team deathmatch domination type Call of Duty stuff like that no more. But playing Modern Warfare 3, I'm like, all right, this ain't that bad. Maybe it was just Modern Warfare 2 because I've been away from it for so long. You know, playing Warzone, I wasn't used to how slow paced the game was, and it just didn't feel like that. When I was playing Modern Warfare 3, I'm like, all right, like it is. I ain't gonna say it felt exactly like Modern Warfare or Warzone and stuff like that, but I'm like, this is like easily playable, and I enjoy it, and I feel like I can move kind of quick and do what I need to do. Yeah. Modern Warfare 2, I'm like, hey, I need to cut this game off. Ejecto, Cedo, Cuzzle, get this game on my Xbox, bro. Like, what is we talking about? Like, this game is cheeks.
No, I like I said, I agree. I think there's a lot to be said about the amount of time and effort they at least put into kind of listening to player feedback and kind of implementing that. So I'm looking forward to playing it. Obviously, there is going to be that whole scenario of overpowered perks, but it looks like they have a understanding of what's strong, what's not, and everything felt viable. Shotguns, snipers, assault rifles, battle rifles, everything felt viable because of the time to kill. And after you get used to the maps, because I wouldn't say the visibility is great. I think after you get used to the maps, you kind of know where people are going to be at, but that doesn't make visibility better. I think it's way too much geometry, too much clutter going on in those games to make it be really played seriously. But it's fun to play, and it's nice to be able to kind of bring a bunch of different unique loadouts to the game. That's what I'm kind of looking forward to, just playing with a bunch of different stuff. I was sniping the other day, and I was having fun with it, just having fun with the beta. Got to level 30, got the dummy test thing, and looking forward to just playing some more once it officially comes out with some more maps and some more modes that's interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's just more so about making sure that they are listening to the community completely and not just going to give us something at the beginning and then try to reverse some stuff at the later end. But Call of Duty is Call of Duty. Nothing else you can say about it. I mean, Call Duty gon' duty. Anything else y'all had? Any impressions y'all want to mention? Give the people some information on the beta outside of that we might get it, because we still haven't figured that out yet. Outside of we might get it, what else y'all got, or is there anything else before we move on?
I've seen a lot of people talking about, like, obviously people be hating on Call of Duty, but I actually seen a lot of good criticism of the beta in regards to visibility, because it's not just like, well, it's a lot of stuff that factor into visibility. It's like the clutter, the colors, and things like that. But when you're outside in the game, people pointed out that there's a there's a strong fog or haze in the distance, which the other like Modern Warfare or Modern Warfare 2 didn't have that. So that is a factor in the game where if you look at screenshots like between maps that are on both, it's like Modern Warfare 2019 had Rust and the new game has Rust, and if you look at them side by side, you can barely see anything on the new game because of all this extra fog that they added. And so I think if they can clear up some of those clarity issues, then that would help. Same thing with the name tags. We're doing side by side comparisons between Modern Warfare 2 and 3. The name tags on this one are like 50% smaller. They only show up if you aim directly at the person. Instead of like looking in their general direction, you have to put the cursor right on top of them, and then their name tag shows up. And so it's just a lot of stuff like that, where that's why it feels so difficult to like tell who's your teammate or not, because they just did so much to like mess up the visibility. I think those are like more minor things that can be corrected. Yeah. But who knows if that'll be ready by launch, or if you gotta wait for like a couple of seasons.
A patch or something.
Yeah. But I think if they can clear that stuff up, I'll be happy with trying it out. I'm okay with like OP perks. My thing with Call of Duty, I just hate when the game gets to like a real what Jalen call it cookie cutter builds. Like I've been trying to play Warzone, and every single match, everybody got the same shotgun that like shoot fire out, and it's like, oh, I see, that's the meta. And Call of Duty people are super meta slaves, so. Hopefully when the game come out, there's a good number of viable archetypes that if I don't like playing a shotgun, I don't have to. So
yeah, that's what I was trying to get a feel for, is balance between all of the weapons and how you go to battle. Because I mean, yes, somebody can spray you quickly with this SMG, but is your battle rifle viable in like a close range situation if you get the drop on them? And 9 times out of 10 is yes, because of how powerful they are, especially with perks and attachments and things like that. You can kind of get definitely become competitive when it comes to close range SMG, as long as you're hitting your shots. I really like the fact that it's not the aim assist isn't overly aggressive, because people have to shoot you for a while, and even if they shoot you one time and get that, you know how you normally, if I get tagged one time, they probably gonna hit me 3-4 more times before I get out of there, if I even decide to retreat. With this one, I feel like I get hit, miss, and then hit again. Kind of feels like the bullets are not just going in a straight line at you, which gives that feeling of, you actually have to have some form of aim in order for you to win this match or win this match up. So
yeah, the bullet magnetization is not that strong. Whereas like,
no, it's not.
Halo, people will point out like the bullets do actually curve if it's in a certain range, so it'll hit you. But like most of the time, Call of Duty doesn't have that, so you have to be a little more accurate. But
yeah. No. I'm not trying to give them a pass, because there happens. I'm talking about more so, at least from this one to last one or the ones previous. I feel like they have lessened the aggressiveness of the aim assist, or attempted to provide a little bit more randomness within the bullet spread, so that you're not just beaming all your shots, whatever the case may be. So that is what I'm enjoying about it. I'm not saying that perfect, though, so I don't want people to get that twisted. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's improved over the last iteration of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So, like I said, those are the key things that I saw throughout the beta. Lots of variety in there for that small slice, and the maps were good. I'm looking for better. Honestly, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Modern Warfare 2, but I liked the maps, most of them anyway. But as we continue on, I'm hoping for more, classic Modern Warfare 3 maps that I enjoyed. Even though everybody hates it, I enjoy Modern Warfare 3 of the original trilogy. And if they bring some decent maps from there, that'll be a selling package for me, especially when it comes to buying additional maps. But
I'll
They need to
say,
leave on Modern Warfare 3 maps. Where they at, bro?
No. See. No, they don't.
I agree on that point, but I'll say the Modern Warfare 2 maps aren't perfect.
No,
there are a lot
not.
of them, especially when you look at the list, like Underpass and stuff like that. A lot of those maps kind of suck, but I think that the overwhelming majority of them gave a good flow to the game where you can move around the map, you don't feel obstructed, has decent visibility. Whereas, going over time, a lot of Call of Duty maps get like really complex and you got multiple levels and rooms, and it just feels like super cluttered, and I hate that. So I'm happy that most of the maps will at least be decent size. But we'll see.
Yeah,
those
they just need to
maps are still fun.
They just need to take off the state, bro.
Then take off a state.
People love the state.
That map is not good.
Yeah, I mean,
it's good. It's good for
okay.
certain game types.
It's definitely got more variety than a lot of the other ones. Like that one's viable for sniping and running gun and battle rifles and assault rifles and shotguns.
That is not a running gun map. You're gonna get scraped. It's way too much open area to try to get down.
But you can pick matches in certain, especially when you're playing certain modes. Are you talking about team deathmatch? Team deathmatch, yes, you will get scraped from across the map. But if you're playing like hard point
domination, you gotta climb up a hill, and it's the same thing. It ain't much cover for you to maneuver around the map to get to. But most people gonna be in the house
fast that it's not even like a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
So much
that
open area
in that map for most game types, because like I don't want to play kill confirmed on that map or something like that. But that map is
play kill confirmed or team deathmatch either.
Slower game types like search and destroy and stuff like that are really good on there, where you can sit in the house trying to get a good vantage point, and people are trying to sneak up to the house. That's the whole point of the map. So when you play fast-paced game types, they don't really work on that map.
I think hardpoint map works on that map.
It does. I just don't like hardpoint.
Yeah, I mean hardpoint. It's a search and destroy. It can't be game type, but I mean it's within reason. It's a little bit more tactical. Hardpoint is just a mosh pit king of the hill when people just running up there and dying and stuff like that. There's been plenty of times I play hardpoint, even sometimes domination, but hardpoint, where the team, you be scraping them, banging them. Everybody negative on the team, but they won because they over there sacrificing themselves to get onto the point. So like it could work on hardpoint theoretically, but especially if people just want to sit up in a state and be sniping and doing different things like that. What I'm saying is just way too much open area. You have to go all the way around the map to kind of maybe use the bushes or use a couple of trucks and to go to the house. It's just way too much open area and stuff for that map. That's why I just was never a huge fan of it. Like it's cool around the estate, but once you start trying to go down the hill, there ain't much cover for you to really try to really get down the hill effectively. That's why it's better on stuff like search and destroy, because you don't necessarily need to do that. Or you ain't got to worry about people respawning and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. And it's more tactical, and you can plan the routes. It's only 3 lanes up there, and somebody might be sniping on the over by the waterfall. The game mode, I mean, that map, it feels nicer. But yeah, like every map, especially the older maps, are not made to play every game mode equally. Like Terminal is good for everything because it's like a wide open space and stuff like that. But like Underpass, like I don't want to play hardpoint on Underpass. So
yeah, okay. Well, I mean, I hear you. I receive y'all's message, but I still think it's a pretty decent map for how I like to play. I like to play with variety. I don't like to play with a similar loadout or tactic. So I like to switch up stuff sometimes, and I think that map gives me the most variety. But I can also see how it limits other people's play styles. But at the end of the day, that's the only time I feel like I'm really challenged to play differently. So
and Ghost died on that level. Nobody want to play there.
Well, he alive in the news story. So
he died on all one branch.
Oh my god.
That boy got blasted right in his face, bro. Blast him.
But yeah, you know, that's when like I said, Call of Duty has some very highs moments in there, and some interesting lows. But overall, I feel like it's a good game, and that beta gave me some reassurance that they're on the right path to making that game a lot better than what it was over the last couple of years. We already got some of the people that's the movement lords already out there, but I feel like that game is so it's so the fact that they brought back a little bit of movement but also lowered the aim assist makes me feel like it's viable to kill some of these individuals that may be moving across the map a little bit faster, but you have the ability to, you know, stop and go and still play a certain style that you might be fundamentally that's what you're good at. So that's what I was really looking for, you know. Can I play different styles without being pressured into one singular thing to do well? And I felt like I had plenty of different weapons, and I was able to pop off with plenty of different things in that game. So it gave me confidence that they are going to be able to balance it in a way that I feel comfortable playing for multiple hours, because I can never, you know, Jalen's totally different. Jalen can literally play with Ash for forever. That's crazy talk to me. It's just like you're literally playing the same game, but you're getting a different experience, but you're literally only seeing one portion of it. Just like when he'll stick with a Warlock. He wouldn't play with nobody else because he's okay with that. It's just not how I play games. So that is something that's important to me. It may not be important to others, but that type of variety, that ability to, you know, play a different style is important to me. I might be fixated on Widow right now, but I'm probably gonna hop off and play with Hanzo or something like that. It's just, you know, that's kind of how I do it. So, but yeah.
At least you want to feel like no matter what you play is viable, or you don't have to play one thing. Because like if Ash was not good, or, you know, everybody yelling we need a Genji, get off Ash. Jalen wouldn't like that much.
Yeah. So
only reason I do that, and this is going a little bit off topic, is because I like a challenge. So every time I get on, I'm trying to play better than I did the next time, and I'm like eager to do that. So it's like I'm like constantly like trying to challenge myself. Granted, it is kind of, you know, a little redundant and stuff like that, but I'm like, nope, I got to do better this time. Nope, I got to make sure I don't die this time. Nope, I got to have like a 3.0 K. Like, so I'm over here trying to, like, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to, I want it to be viable. You have a goal
in mind. It's just not the same. It doesn't reflect like in like a separate play style, but you have goals and what you're trying to achieve in that game. I'm just trying to have, like, I'm having fun, but I also want to have a usefulness throughout. Like, I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth for the game, and I think that having that level of, you know, that level of variety helps me believe that their game is actually worth it. Because it's like, I mean, obviously nobody wants to just be stuck playing one thing most of the time, and it could be your broken game in general. Like, one person is really, really good and everybody else is trash, and that too, you know, falls into that whole thing about making sure a game is balanced. So you know, that I get what you're saying though. Like, you have a goal in mind so that when you get on, it still feels engaging and fun, because it's like literally that is what I'm doing here. I'm not just trying to have fun at some occasions. I'm actually trying to beat my previous self. So I get that too. That's not a knock that at all. I'm just telling you how I look at it versus, you know, how you probably look at it, because I'm speculating. We never talked about it, but you do play with Ash. That's the only person you play with on Overwatch. So
I got to make Ash viable at all times. So people like, we don't need no snipers. I'm gonna show y'all why y'all need me. Check this out. Like, he dropping kills even though Ash ain't viable. Okay, Ash.
Yeah. So I agree.
I know we talked about Call of Duty a lot, but I was gonna ask, how do y'all feel about the tactical fire thing? Because like, I usually don't like weapon mounting. Like, leaning on the wall and peeking around the corner and stuff like that. Like, I don't like those mechanics because they usually lock you down, but I actually like the tactical fire thing. And if you didn't use it, it's, you aim down sights, you press down on the D-pad, and they'll like hold the gun sideways and it'll widen your field of view.
Yeah.
It makes it so you can walk faster while still aiming. So it's kind of like a more accurate hip fire. And so for a lot of SMGs, especially like when I was on high rise, that was like the best way to like get the drop on people.
Isn't it a toggle so you don't have to hold the D-pad, right? It's toggle. And every time you pull the weapon up, now it's going to be in that view, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I once you told me you get an actual benefit from it, because I was like, honestly, I don't need it because I was playing on keyboard and mouse, so every time I'm aiming down sights, I need that additional slowdownness or slow down because it helps with my aim. Versus, and I know that it's probably good for me to be able to aim with hip fire too, but I want to be able to 360 or turn around or 180 quickly. And when I do that, my speeds are very high, but my aim down sights be very tight, so that when I actually am ready to shoot someone or line up a shot, it gives me that precision that I'm looking for. Versus when I'm running and gunning, trying to get to something, and I'm trying to bounce back and forth. I don't want to be whipping my mouse around so hard that I'm hitting stuff, because I'm trying to make these quick 180 turns. So, those types of things. So, it could be beneficial for me to lower my thing and just play with the tactical if I'm playing with a certain type of weapon. Because I do have the ability to like switch the sensitivity. I forget what they call it, like DPS. I forget what they call it on these mouses. Yeah. But I'm able to hit like different settings on the fly so that I can lower it, and if I'm just using a certain type of gun, I can lower it, and then if I'm using a certain other gun and like normal, I can go high. So I will try it out, but I didn't see the benefit until you kind of told me that benefit of just the walking speed. So I guess how I feel about it to be the make or break for some people when it comes to like getting to be able to aim down sights quicker, but I don't think that's what it changes. I think it just literally changes your field of view. So it would be nice when you're trying to hip fire, and maybe that's the view you have, so you could probably be a little bit more accurate. But I'd rather stick a laser on something, to be honest, and go from there.
Yeah. So I don't know how the whole balance is, but I feel like it's going to be one of those controversial things because the benefits of it are like multiply with your perks. So you go into the tactical mode, automatically you can walk faster, and you can fire while moving. But it also makes your aim more accurate than hip firing, but it's less accurate than just aiming down sights. But there are perks and weapon attachments that increases the accuracy and reduces the spread. So you can also increase your move speed with perks and equipment with the tactical mode. So what you can do, put on perks so you can move even faster than normal with the tactical mode. Put on weapon attachments that reduce your spread, and now you're in a situation where this person is going to be beating you up close in every situation because they can strafe faster than you, they can move faster, and they got a really accurate weapon. Yeah. Not to say that it's going to win in every situation, because that's only good for like close to medium range. And the person still might not beat you, but I think that's a really strong, like, I'll say build. Like, so I'll wait and see when the game come out if that's actually like viable. But in the beta at least, that was a really interesting like way to build your character.
Gotcha. No, I think that, like I said, the beta did a great wonders, and you guys should definitely check out some footage, check out the differences between Modern Warfare 2 and 3, and kind of read up on that if you're interested in buying Modern Warfare 3. hopefully, as long as their servers are right, by the time it comes out. I really don't want to pay $70 for it, but I think that this is going to be the game we try to put a little bit of effort into outside of Overwatch, and go from there. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully they are too, but it's yet to be decided. I'm gonna still say that. It's yet to be decided.
You want that silver Makarov skin, shiny Makarov.
Shiny Makarov. He want the shiny Makarov. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on. Let's go straight into more Call of Duty Activision King Xbox news. So, it's official. Xbox now owns Activision, King, and Blizzard, and obviously that comes with the Call of Duty. Everybody's wondering, what you gonna do with Call of Duty? Are you gonna take it out? Are you gonna put it in Game Pass? No, they're not putting it in Game Pass. That would be stupid of them because it is a cash cow, and it would be stupid of them because it really makes... I guess it's just stupid because it's a cash cow. It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, it'd be beneficial for us as gamers that paying $70 for these games every year, but I would 100% doubt that they're going to put that in anytime soon. Call of Duty is going to be its own separate entity thing like it always has been. It's going to be integrated where you probably get the old games on Game Pass the year after, which is fine, but at that time, you're probably going to the new. And that's kind of where I'm thinking that's going to be. I'm pretty sure Modern Warfare 2 is going to be in there come next year, early quarter, I think those are going to be there. And if not all of them, some, it doesn't have to be all. It could be the last 3 years. However they want to do it. And they probably going to do a lot of backwards compatibility stuff. Obviously, Activision held a lot of games and a lot of rights. So then now they probably can even start back up. And this is me speculating. Nothing has been confirmed, but this is me speculating that probably now that they have licensing things and they stopped the program because they had licensing issues. Well, now they bought everybody, and at least they bought a big one, so they can literally go back now and look at anything that they published and say, okay, maybe we couldn't buy the rights at that time, but now we own you, so maybe we can put that on here now. So that's some of the things I'm looking to see. But I honestly haven't looked back at Activision's entire catalog to see what games that I would be interested in playing again anyway. But there's plenty. I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So any of the older games, Underground 2, American Wasteland, all those games I loved. I'm obviously not going to play through them again, but to have those updated and be able to be played at a higher, setting kind of makes me sad. I haven't even told you guys yet I sold my Series X, but makes me sad I sold it because maybe those games will be coming and now it will be more digital aspect versus having it physical, which is fine because I only have the Series S now. But we'll talk about why I sold that too. But right now, let's stick to Activision. What do you think, Josh or Jalen? What do y'all think going to happen in the next coming weeks or next coming year with this Game Pass? Or even, do you think that Activision is going to stay the same? Do you think it's going to be some shakeups? What's y'all thoughts if y'all been keeping up with that?
I mean, obviously it has like so much potential, but I think at least in the beginning, like you said, Call of Duty, the brand new Call of Duty games are probably not going to release right on Game Pass, because I think they're still like these games are still selling for $70 plus like premium battle pass and skins and stuff. So there's so much money to be made. Just keep it the same, and I think they don't have any reason to change it. And obviously it's going to stay on PlayStation because they promised it, but also I think that for them it just makes so much money on every console, no reason to ever take it off. That being said, older games, even let's say Modern Warfare 1 and 2 don't go to Game Pass right away. The older games, Advanced Warfare and all the PS4, PS3 games should come to Game Pass at some point, I think, because there are a lot of games that people like that people want to go back to Black Ops 3 and being able to just boot it up on backwards compatibility and have the servers work, I think will be very nice. You see how many people jumped in when they fixed the old 360 games.
Yeah.
I think that Call of Duty is the biggest purchase. They have so many other IPs though, Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk, stuff like that. For a while, I don't think we'll see any new games because obviously I don't think they've started anything unless Activision was already working on it. But backwards compatibility and bringing the older games forward is going to be the biggest thing for a while. And personally, I'm okay with that. What I would like to see is I would like to see the games that I like Overwatch and stuff like that, to have better management. I think that Overwatch 2 is in a good place, but it can be a lot better. And I think going forward, I personally feel like Microsoft might be in better hands with Overwatch than before, but we'll see. About you, Jalen? I know you were trying to get try Prototype 3.
I forgot all about Prototype.
Or Guitar Hero. What else they got? Crash Bandicoot. What?
What they got? They got. Yeah, he over there silent boy. I don't know what's going on.
Nah, I don't know all Activision games, bro. But
was it Spyro one or no? Spyro's one. Yeah, Spyro. I thought it was.
Prime. It is.
It is
now. They might have bought it at some point, but it is.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
What about Sly Cooper?
Nah, Sucker Punch.
That's Sucker Punch. Okay. Activision back catalog is insane. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they got a pretty big catalog, but I mean,
I haven't never deep dived into it. You know, like, But I'm pretty sure they got some heat. They got some heat for us.
Bring back StarCraft FPS.
Dude, you know they're gonna bring back Guitar Hero. They already talked about it, which is great. I liked it. I liked it, Guitar Hero. I still like Guitar Hero. I own 2 guitars for my Wii. So yeah, I know that they're gonna probably bring back that in some type of different way or whatever. But that's plenty of there for them to work on. And Phil Spencer recently been on a podcast, and he was talking about how he's planning on going to every developer and talking through with them and asking them what they're passionate about and all that good jazz. I said, come on now, Phil, don't be messing up the formula. I mean, I understand that they want to be passionate, and Raven might finally be able to make another game outside of Call of Duty, but understand what that machine is. You don't want to mess it up either. So
you said you got to stay on the Call of Duty minds.
Yeah, you got to. I'm saying, unfortunately, it's the truth. I mean, you can take the technology and use it, but don't go up there messing up nothing. Like, that is what they do. That is their thing. Like, obviously, Call of Duty is the biggest game on the planet, so you don't want to kind of ruin that. But at the same time, you do want to give people options to play other, make other stuff. Like, you want to bring the passion back to actually games and not just churn and burn, baby. But it's a machine behind Call of Duty. So, but honestly, in my opinion, Activision was not bought for Call of Duty. Activision was bought for the mobile platform, the technology they have, the servers and things like that. They're the stuff that they are capable of doing. Basically the people, the talent, and also the mobile. But I don't think Call of Duty was like, yeah, it's big, but it's not the big thing. And they probably could take the hit and lose the money from Call of Duty and not blink an eye. That is how much Microsoft, that's how much money they got. But, so we'll see what they do, really. I don't think, like I said, the Xbox platform has evolved. It is no longer to sell a console box. And that's fine for me. I appreciate when they kind of bring that, inclusive thought process to everything, but at the same time, it does make your product weaker to the point where it's not necessary, and that we're going to probably get into why I sold my Xbox in a little bit here too. but it does weaken the brand in that way. But as long as you're bringing out quality products and quality games and software and kind of moving away from hardware, because at the end of the day, Microsoft is a software-based company. They were never really good at hardware. They still aren't that good at it. So I can see them trying to transform the Xbox platform to literally be all software-based and cloud gaming, and you buy your PC and you run their games, and you have a platform and you can run all the Xbox games. They for sure want to put Game Pass on PlayStation. And at some point, you're going to see a big green box in your PlayStation's apps, because they don't really care where you play them. All they care is that you played it. So that is the goal. We all can see that. We all know it. And if you're in that camp of being just a hardcore Xbox gamer, you're going to still be serviced wherever you look. It's not going to be a problem for you. But you have to give up that dream of them being the best console out there, because it's never going to happen. They're always going to be the third tier, but they're going to have the biggest. They're going to have the biggest reach and the biggest library of games to compete with anybody, because that is what they're buying. So understand what they're doing. I guess that's what I want people to do. I want them to understand what's happening and kind of put that into perspective, and not just think of a console war, console versus console thing. That's kind of over in their minds. Once they bought Activision and Bethesda, it's kind of over in their minds that is what this is. It ain't. And that's why I was able to sell mines without batting an eye. GameStop giving $420 for them if you go during Pro Week. I think that's over now. But I was able to get $420, and something that I was actually truly interested in and could get some more play time for myself was the Quest 3. I didn't want to pay $500, so I ended up selling my old one and selling my Xbox to kind of get it. And that allowed me to, purchase something, buy something, repurpose it without having to feel like I'm shelling out more money, because again, I was not using my Xbox. I now have a upgraded PC, and I still hate PC gaming to some extent, but as it gets better, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all the benefits that came out of me PC gaming. The benefit that came out of PC gaming is that I don't buy games day one no more. I haven't bought a game day one in like at least 4 months, and that's good for me because I used to do it a lot. I think it's 4 months. Yeah, it's been a while. Since I've bought a game. I think I bought Street Fighter, but it was $40 because I was able to get it on PC and it ran well. But I was able to buy Street Fighter. I think that was the last game I bought that was like first day or like day after or something like that. But PC gaming has allowed me to conserve and save a little money, because I used to go out and just buy. But after a while, I started to realize some of these games weren't working properly, they weren't optimized properly, and they weren't running well on my system, on my Xboxes and things like that. And then when I get over to the PC, it's the same problem. So this is just train my brain to think, never buy nothing day one. So it's that's one of the benefits. But let me go back to the actual topic, which is the Quest. But the Quest 3 coming out, right alongside a lot of the other Techtober stuff, the Pixel, the iPhone. This was probably my favorite piece of technology that came out in October as of yet. And I don't think it's going to be beat for a little bit, at least until the Apple Vision Pro come out. But I have come to terms that I am probably going to embrace this AR, augmented reality, a lot more than I expected when it becomes viable, when it becomes more intertwined with our day-to-day, where it's not as intrusive. I have no issues wearing this Quest pretty much all day. I literally had it on for a very long time, only taking it off to eat and to make sure the kids were. I mean, even with that, I was still within the lenses. I could see them, I could participate with them, but I had YouTube running on the side of my face when nobody else could see it. It's just kind of like those types of things where you don't realize how convenient having a floating computer just on your face is until you kind of use it. So augmented reality, and that's the biggest thing. That was the biggest selling factor for me, because I was like, I want to try that. I want to try how it looks. It's not the best pass through, so don't get me twisted in saying that like this is the device. It's not the device. This is my first taste of augmented reality at a convenient, or I think favorable price, because it's not too expensive, but at the same time, you know it's worth the money. If it's too expensive to the average consumer that's probably been into VR alone, but it's not for the technology you're getting and being able to try augmented reality. So MetaQuest 3, in my opinion, is, if I had to give it a score, it's like an 8.5 out of 10. And it has minor things that I kind of don't like, but overall the controllers are great, the tracking is great, the resolution is great. The augmented reality is a game changer when it comes to being able to be functional in this false reality, like being functional in the real reality without having to compromise or get out of the VR. Like, that is a big deal. And I know that I'm going to embrace it heavily, because over the last few days, it's become so much more easy for me to seamlessly incorporate into everything that I do. When it comes to gaming on my PC, I'm using virtual desktop, and I am streaming it to my headset. I'm laying in bed watching Netflix. I am simply doing things that I thought, it doesn't make sense to do it in the headset right now, because it's like uncomfortable at some points, like where you're like trying to carry around this sometimes large and intrusive thing on your face. I think they have gotten it to a point where you can feel where we're going to be going in the future, but it's not there yet. So that's why I'm saying this is not the device to buy, but if you want to try augmented reality, I think that is this is the best step forward in like a long time. It's got the VR stuff, it has the AR stuff, it has the resolution needed to make it feel real, not real, but more so passable. Because you had the green screen door effect, everything looked pixelated. You could tell when things were too bright for the screen, because it'll give you that halo effect. Like, a lot of that stuff is gone on this because of the resolution being so high. And then the AR is making it so much easier for setup, easier for you to still see where you're going and not having to take it on and off the headset. That is really important, like to not have to take it off to get things done around the house, to keep up with the kids, turn on a light, to even pour yourself a drink, grab a snack, like the simple things that you have to do but you can't do it in VR, because literally once you're in it, you're not in the world anymore. So I think that AR effect is really going to boom, and that's really going to take off. Obviously, VR is going to be important to encapsulate yourself in a world at some points, but AR is what's really going to make this thing beneficial to the masses, and not just these super techies. And the cool thing about that is that Meta I don't know what they're doing over there, but they already have this thing coming out. They have the augmented reality, those glasses. Obviously, it's going to be tied to Instagram, and it's not going to be as powerful, but at some point they're going to be able to make this thing powerful, and they're going to be able to make it that small. And that is the time where I say most people should jump in. If you want to try it, go ahead. This is the latest bleeding technology, and it's actually really, really cool, and it's worth the money. But the device that you're truly looking for, that I'm truly looking for, is when it becomes fashionable, when it becomes easy, comfortable, less intrusive. That is where you truly will see the difference. And I think Apple Vision Pro is probably going to do worse off at the beginning because it's so heavy. It's so big, and it's going to have the technology there, but I think a lot of people are not going to be interested in keeping that thing on for a long period of time. And I'm really hoping that they get the comfort level down, because I would love to try it at their resolutions with their technology, but I ain't buying that $3,500 headset. That's just ridiculous. But I would love to try out their technology, and now it's giving me more. I mean, obviously, MetaQuest is going to be like the entry. They're going to be the entry, but at the same time, because they have so many, they can continue to evolve. They are leaps and bounds ahead of most in this realm right now, and I think they're going to continue to grow like that because they keep putting out good products. Like I was writing this MetaQuest off because I was like, it's just another VR headset, but that's not true. It's actually an AR headset, mixed reality with VR, and that makes the biggest of difference. So I kind of want to, give them a little praise for actually making something worthwhile. But obviously, it's still niche. It's not like mainstream, but I think you're going to see a lot of weirdos out there trying to make this thing work in the outside world. You're not supposed to wear it outside. It's not meant for that. You can't damage the lenses. But some people are going to take it outside because they're idiots, and they're going to continue to use it outside because they're idiots. But once those iterations come out that actually make sense to be worn outside, don't make you look like a crazy man, don't make you look like you're weird, I think that is where it's going to take off and become a normal thing in this world. So I just wanted to put that out there. I know I've been using it for quite a while, and probably got like day 3 of when it came out, so it's been a minute, and I've gotten a lot of thoughts gaming wise and everything. But honestly, this thing has been used more for leisure and just not just playing around with it than anything. It hasn't really been meant for a lot of VR gaming yet. And that's the cool thing, is because it can do that, but it just hasn't been used for that. It's been used for 2D, throw up a nice resolution picture and let me play my games. Let me throw up my monitors. Let me watch some YouTube videos while they watch their Bluey or Sesame Street or whatever when they take over the TV downstairs. And it's just like easy for me. It's not difficult. And once it becomes even better and slimmer and easier over time, I think it's going to truly be like a revolutionary thing. Because I at this point drank the Kool-Aid, I think. But yeah, that's all. I just wanted to mention that the MetaQuest 3 is out. It is $499 for the 128 gig, and I think it's $649. I think it's $649 for the 512 gig. You do get Astra's Wrath 2 with that. But I don't really need to play VR games. That's not my thing. Honestly, I realized that it's not like a big thing for me. It's something that's cool, but I think augmented reality is where it's at. I think that is really what's going to kind of become it's going to become so useful that it helps. And that's what I've been interested in anyway. I wanted to try it with the Microsoft lenses and all that good jazz, but it just cost too much. This is the best option for me right now, especially when it comes to resolution, abilities, and it has more to offer than most of those things on the market that cost way more. So yeah, it's dope tech. Anything to add?
That the AR functionality is better, because I did enjoy that about the Quest 1. Like you mentioned, watching a movie in the movie theater with other people around and stuff like that. I think once that technology becomes more widespread, being able to quickly access apps through like a smaller headset and things like that. I think I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, as far as games and like VR experiences, as they would call them, I'm not as interested in it, because I've done them. They're fun. I think that Half-Life Alyx was a really nice experience. But most of the time I would rather play it something else, or play it on a regular screen
on a 2D play, like 2D. Yeah.
But as far as like iteration on the technology, I think that Meta has done a great job at like continuously improving their headsets, and I think that that's good. Somebody's got to take the hit. They got the money to do it. So once that reaches like $100-$200 range, and everybody has one, then that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you get you some $200-$300 Ray-Bans, and now you got some AR glasses, and like you got VR, and you're able to hang out with people in your house in like this VR space and do things and play games and get feedback through the controllers. It's cool in that regard. Like I said, me and Karina, before I sold the other one, I kept it, and I was, we played some, tennis and played some games like on it, and it's cool to have that ability to play in that space. But I think what's cool about it is that I can literally be sitting in another space, and we have applications online, and we can literally sit there and have passive talking as we watching a movie. Like my dad has a VR headset. I can literally just sit there and watch Major Payne with him, and in this VR headset, if we wanted to. Like, that is something, once it becomes more comfortable and easier to use, and I don't have to be in the same vicinity as my dad, but I can hang out with him as if I was. That's important to me now. Like, obviously family is super important, but I'm in a different space. So those types of things, those types of moments that you can, capture, and not fake it. It's organic. I don't like when they try to pretend like, everybody's going to use it for a certain thing. I mean, there's plenty of use cases, and there's plenty of things that can be used and how you use it. But once it becomes more comfortable and more useful and more refined, I think that is where we start to see the true benefits of AR and augmented reality and even VR experiences, because it's just cool. So, yeah, it's dope. Anything to add, Jalen, or you good on the augmented? You like your world real? How you like your world?
It'd be something to check out in the future or something like that. But I mean, I'm not interested in it right now. So
yeah.
But it sounds intriguing, and I mean, it's like it could serve different populations. I think when they, like you said, get more refined, it can serve more populations and things like that. So, and then, like Josh said, it could become like a more affordable price and stuff for people. So,
yeah, I agree. I think the affordable prices where they're already trying to do that with that Meta. They're basically taking a lot of stuff out of it. And I think as long as they understand what people really want from a headset, they can pull it off. But I have a hard time believing that they're not going to cut things that people are interested in. So it's tough on that. So I think the refinements, making it cheaper, providing like, shoot, honestly, they can create them and make them into like cell phones. We're at the point where you can take all your texting, calling, and things like that, and Meta can make a phone, but it's also a VR AR headset, and they can do that, and that's how you start to mobilize the masses. Because you saying I could text, call, I don't even need a screen that's coming through my lenses, and I can do all the things that I normally do on my phone, but this $800 and only can do that, and this is $800 and it can do all of this. I'm gonna go with that. So that is where I see the true benefit of refinement, mass technology, because at the end of the day, everybody doesn't use their phone the same way, but you need one. So I think that is where we start to see the massive, adoption of it, because they get with cell phone companies, they start to create this technology and make it so affordable or useful that you can't deny it at that point. So I think there's a way to do that with wearable tech. It's just figuring out the way to go about it, and security, obviously, and things like that. But we'll get there for sure. If anybody can do it, I think Facebook can do it. They already got our data. So I don't want to sound morbid, but they do. But yeah. Okay. Anything else before we move on?
Nope.
Alrighty. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 got his reviews, came out, and it's a solid 91, I think, on Metacritic right now, right? It's a good game. It's a good game.
All around.
Yeah, it's a good game. I never it's gonna sound like hate. It's not hate, guys. I never understand the I don't want to say that. You know what? I'm not going to say what I was going to say. What I'll start with is Spider-Man 2 came out, had a 91 Metacritic. It looks great. It looks like it's going to be a fun ride. What do you guys think of Spider-Man 2, and where do you stand on purchasing it? Like, will you be buying it for your PS5? Will you know? I always have to preface these questions with a lot more, background on us. Jalen doesn't play that many. Josh doesn't play many Main Street games, main AAA games. He doesn't play many. Jalen, he doesn't play them unless he's really, really interested in that, and it probably has to come from a different light. Like, it had to be something he grew up as a childhood. It's really hard to get him to play a new game. I try stuff, but I am going to be passing on Spider-Man 2 this time around. So I guess before I say that, did you guys have any thoughts of buying that game before the reviews came out?
Yeah, so I'm like I said, I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan. Like, I like Spider-Man, but he's not, like, I don't have to see more Spider-Man stories. There's enough movies and enough games. I've seen enough Spider-Man. Kind of same thing with Batman, where, like, I know who Batman is, I know what he can do, I know who he fight. That being said, the game looks fun, the game looks well made, and I think I would enjoy the experience, and I think that it's worth, the time and effort the developers put into it. So I'm going to play the Spider-Man games at some point. It's just, for me, I didn't want to play them on PS4 when they came out because I wasn't that interested. There were other games out that I preferred to play. And then same thing with Miles. It looked all right, but I don't care right now. When all of them are available on PC, I'll probably pick them up at some point and play through them. I don't have a PS5, and I'm not going to buy it for Spider-Man. Like, it looks great, but I can play the same thing on my PC.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't have no problem with it. It looks great, and it's probably, if you have a PS5, this is one of the best games to pick up, because it does push the AAA envelope like Sony always does. So
yeah, I think the biggest
for Sony games, I don't buy into the hype, but I think they're high quality.
No, Insomniac is one of my favorite companies for sure, developers anyway. And their implementation of ray tracing in that game that runs at that level, that big, and with the SSD and the speeds that they can fast travel, all of that is very impressive. I'm not trying to downplay that, but there's plenty of games that have come out, and for a single player game to come out in this extensive level of single player games everywhere. Alan Wake 2, we got Dead Island 2 that came out earlier this year. We had Dead Space, we had Resident Evil 4, Diablo 4 technically, but not really a single player game. There is a large list on Baldur's Gate 3, large list of games that I have yet to get to or even try. As Zelda, I mean, for God's sake, there are plenty of games right now to the point where I just don't have the capacity to try to even play this game day one. And I'm pretty sure I can get through it quickly, but I think it'll be safe to bet that in a year or 6 months from now, I could probably get it for cheaper, or I could just wait for the PC release. But at the same time, I'm risking PC release. So maybe that game is just bought down the line. It's nothing against them at all. I honestly think it's going to be a great game. It's just that they are coming out at the end of the craziest year of gaming, and I would much rather prefer to play something more along the lines of Alan Wake, where I don't know the beats of the game. I don't know what's going to happen next, because it can be a fantastic ride, but I have seen and played Spider-Man enough to know that everything that's going to happen has already been written. And that's tough when it comes to those types of games, because it doesn't matter how well or cool you do it. It's that I can hold off on it because I know that the story isn't going to be groundbreaking in a way where you deviate from the norm of what Spider-Man truly is at heart. And we all know what the Venom and the symbiote suit, how do you say it? Symbiote suit? I don't know how. The suit that, the black suit. Symbiote. It's symbiote, yeah. The symbiote suit does to you. So we know it makes you angry. I mean, we've seen this whole play out, you know. My man's Tobey Maguire, shout out to him. I mean, like I said, it's just tough when you've done so much Spider-Man, and we got Miles Morales and we got Spider-Man 1 not too long ago. It's tough to kind of sit out and like, I'm going to shell out another $70 for it, even if it's the top quality and it's probably one of the better games that have come out this year, maybe even best. It's just that at this point, there's a lot of great games too, so even the best can be shut out, at least in my space. I'm not saying that everybody's like that. Obviously, if you have just a PS5 and you're looking at how to anticipate it for you and you want it, absolutely I'll go buy it. But right now, it's just not that big of a deal for me. I already knew it was going to be great because it's Insomniac. But if this was Wolverine, no question. But it's Spider-Man, so it's just, unfortunately, it's a little bit more of that. It's just it has to deal with what I already know. That's kind of, it's not their fault, but I already know a lot about Spider-Man, so they have to deal with that. So not taking anything away from Insomniac, and that's why I didn't want to say it was hate, because it's not. It's just more so, you know, once you've played enough or seen enough Spider-Man, you kind of know the beats of the game, and you know the story, where it's going to go and how it's going to play out. Even if they have some twists and turns in between, and they have a really great cast that can sell it really well, you just know it ain't telling you nothing new. It might just tell you something revised, and that's unfortunate, but it is what it is when you kind of have to work with original content that's already been created, like a Dragon Ball Z game or a One Piece game. It's like, it's not that much you can do different here, but you still love them, so you buy it. So that's all.
I think one thing that needs to be understood is like, and I'm not saying people like necessarily think this way, but I know sometimes it'll be like a misconception that if you're a gamer, if you really, you know, really delve into games and stuff, you play a lot of different games, especially like the good ones and stuff like that. But if you already experience some sort of story or you know what I'm saying, some sort of media, and it's been a lot of Spider-Man media in the past 10 years. I'm sure we can agree. Really past, I say it ramped up a little bit more in the past 10 years rather than the past 20. But,
Yeah.
you know, just abstaining from some of that stuff, it ain't nothing wrong with necessarily doing any of that because, again, like, y'all play Spider-Man a lot more than I have or indulge in Spider-Man and stuff like that. So missing a Spider-Man game, regardless of how good it is, it ain't a knock on the game itself. It's just that you just want to choose your time or you want to invest your time in something a little bit more, you want to be a little bit more selective.
And, engaging, interesting to you, because it's not like it's not interesting. It's just more engaging to yourself. Like, obviously, we sit down and waste enough time on Overwatch or anything else that we could have beaten Spider-Man, but that engagement and that fun and activity is probably going to give me more stimulation or interest than that Spider-Man would at that point in time. So it's just, it's nothing against it though, like at all.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, like, we, like you said to that statement, I mean, we don't live near each other. So if we play Overwatch, like people have people say, well, you play the same game or, like why you want to play that game and stuff like that. Yeah. But I'm like, well, or even people will say recommend watching a TV show or something like that. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, well, me playing this game, I mean, it's stimulating, and then at the same time, this is me hanging out with my friends. So what I would go do at outside in the city or at a bar or at a movie, you know what I'm saying, all those sorts of things. Like, this is how I choose to hang out with my friends because this is the best way of doing so because we live far apart. And then people understand that and be like, all right, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense why you keep playing the same game or why you don't want to watch a show I recommended or go do something different sometimes. So it's just perspective.
Yep. Okay. Well, the thing that I also wanted to talk about, and I'm not forgetting about it, Drizzy Drake. So Drake had put out a new album, and what's it called? For All the Dogs. I don't know how to talk about pop culture because it's so funny to me because it's Drake, right? And we all know that Drake isn't the toughest of people, but his persona is that he is tough, and he has a history of being mistreated by women. This For All the Dogs was meant to be a album for individuals that have been listening to him and are craving something different from Drake. Craving a more grittier, more grounded, less talking to the women, more talking to the men. As he said, twist up your face to some music 27. People were looking for that from Drake, 6 grown men twisting their faces up, and that's a hard bar right there. That's what we were looking for. But we got more Drake, and that's fine because Drake is still Drake. It's not like he's not missing. This isn't even a miss. This is more of a misstep. It's not a miss. He just had to contend with that, adding on to the fact that people are ready for Drake to lose. I'm not ready for Drake to lose. I'm just ready for Drake to provide a more stimulating sound than what he's been providing. I think his sound has grown with the industry, and his sound has been threatened with the industry. I don't want to hear Drake sound like Yeet, Yachty, or anybody that's mainstream technically right now. I always known Drake to catch a vibe on a song. I never known Drake to push that throughout his entire album. or am I mistaken in that? That was pretty much what the vibe was. The entire album was sounds by Yachty, right? What were your thoughts on the sounds? The sonic, what do you say it? How do you say it? I can't even think of the word. Shoot. But how did you feel listening to For All the Dogs, Jalen?
I mean, I've been listening to it and stuff like that. I keep going back to Rie. He talked to me a lot about the album, and we be talking about it and stuff like that. At first, I felt like the album was a lot more like sexual, I guess, but I felt like maybe Her Loss was probably a little bit more sexual. I think it's maybe some of the components where even I was going back and listening to some of the things that 21 Savage say is a little bit more crude and like sexual, versus what Drake might say. Drake might give it a little bit more of a implication kind of, but sometimes he said some crude stuff in that other album. But this one, like you said, going back and listen to it, a couple of the songs, it's called For All the Dogs. Like you said, Twist Your Face was like, dang, man, the studio should have burnt down how hard that bar was. You know what I'm saying? Like, why we still standing? It should be on fire. Yeah. But I didn't really feel any of that, to be honest with you. I felt like it was very Drake-esque, even going back and listening to it. I think I just don't bang with the album as heavily because I don't like some of the songs on there and resonating with what Joe Budden or Thurman Lane, you know what I'm saying? I don't really bang with them like that and stuff. But I will say I felt like the album, like Drake, I say this very loosely. So I say it very loosely. I feel like he regressed to some capacity because like some of his topics aren't as mature, or the way he's like, whether it's evoking emotion, the topics, the things he say, I don't feel like they're as mature. And then again, I mean, I'm not saying what it is. I'm not saying what it ain't. I'm just saying what was stated in the song and my interpretation of it. He said a couple things, Drake pushing 30, you know what I'm saying? He almost 40
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I see that he was trying to make a little spin with words and stuff like that because, 21 was on the song. And I'm probably, with the unpopular opinion, I don't need him in a lot of them songs, bro. He don't add that much value to it. Unless I want to keep hearing the P word, 21, you know what I'm saying, those sorts of things. But, or shooting somebody, Draco's make your shirt so weird, place you. I don't, you know what I'm saying, I don't need to hear that when this dude talking about he loved his girl. Like, why are we talking about Draco's when somebody getting aired out? But anyway, going back to the original point, he said something about like a 21-year-old. I'm like, all right, bro, like, I mean, I know 21 is of age, and you know what I'm saying, it's just kind of weird, like, we don't need to be talking about 21-year-olds. And I hate to say it, I bang with this song 7969 Santa, but to me, it sounds like he's trying to get over like a 25-year-old or something like that. Like, and I'm like, yeah, but y'all got like a 10-year deficit, and why you so invested in this 25-year-old? You got a whole kid, bro. Like, what is we talking about? So it's just kind of like, I personally would prefer for him to go back to the strippers. Granted, strippers age and all that type of stuff. Like, they probably young too, right?
Go back to the strippers.
Because a stripper strippers are like a certain symbol, right? They're supposed to be seductive. They're supposed to be quote unquote, they're erotic or exotic dancers or whatever. They're supposed to be quote unquote for the streets. They usually don't have the best reputation, and people don't usually want them to be. They don't want their identity known as a stripper and stuff like that. And I understand it because of the negative connotation. So being trying to get over a 25-year-old versus trying to get over a stripper, I feel like those are two different things. So I'm like, if you're this old, what is this?
It's better to do it to strippers than a 25-year-old.
Yeah, because similar like your brother was saying. He said he like Sexy Red because like, I'm gonna try not to use these words because she's a little bit more out there, allegedly. That's the portrayal. And you know what you're getting versus the image that they're portraying, and you're indulging in this image knowing this from up front versus, man, like, I see a 25, okay, like, dang, man, like, you got me down bad, I miss you, and this, that, and the third. Like, it's just a little, I don't know, it's just a little more strange. Like,
it's off-putting for sure. It's off-putting. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I guess more so sonically, do you think his sound? I mean, because obviously there's a plenty of what we can break down lyrics wise, but I don't want to do that because honestly, I don't break down many other people I listen to's lyrics unless I find it to be, breakdown worthy. And honestly, none of this music was breakdown worthy. Not even the timestamp one. I thought it was okay, but none of it was like I didn't need to listen to anything twice to get the bar. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I had to listen to Kendrick a few times so I get the bar. And I'm not trying to compare them, but, that's a person I have to listen to a few times. J. Cole dumbs it down. He does a really good job at it, but he also has good bars. So you don't necessarily need to listen to J. Cole twice unless you really missed some of the double entendres or something like that. But I think Kendrick probably does it the best when it comes to that. But yeah, Drake not so much. Nah. I think it's very much so simplified and straight to the point. They can be hard, but it is simplified and straight to the point, so you don't have to really do that. I think people were looking for some of that old school Drake because Drake can do it, and I've seen him do it, and he does it well. It just that wasn't here. It was more so very much laid back, cool.
He had some of it in there. I give it that. He said something like he got you moving waist like you would a waist. He said something like with a waist minute got you moving waist like a belt or something like that. I mean, that's not the hardest and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? It kind of got some of that or something about your man deserted you, like the cake and ice cream. You know what I'm saying? So he said, I'm not saying it was like.
I know what you're saying. He has, like I said, he has bars in it, and I'm not saying that all of it was, but there was plenty of times where I was like, okay, that's cringe. Okay, that's cringe. And I was like, what is happening right now? Because I can't listen to the whole song without having to hear a cringe part. Like when he said that on Nonstop, when he said, I'm light skinned, but I'm still a dark N-word. And I was just like, bro, that's cringe. But I like the song Nonstop. But I felt like it was multiple times where it happened in these songs that I was like, why would you say that right here? And it didn't make sense. So it was very much so off-putting because Drake still had it was sonically okay, as in like it was music for the times, but it was not always the greatest things being said over everything. And that's what kind of caused confusion. And I'm not saying that he didn't have bars on there. I'm just saying that it was mixed in with a lot of, interesting takes.
He say some things in the song where you be like, man, I like this song, bro, but that part stuck in my head now, and I want to just erase that part. Like,
yeah, you can't.
Every time I come on, you like, all right,
yeah,
you tense up when you hear it.
You like, let me keep going. But yeah, it's not. It's like I said, I don't want to break down his the lyrics, but I want to talk about is his sound and what he's trying to achieve. What do we think Drake was trying to achieve with this album? Do you think he was just looking for hits? Do you think he was truly trying to provide another legacy stamp? What do we think he was trying to achieve? My opinion is that he was trying to give us something. It wasn't the best thought out, but he did appreciate what he made. I don't think everybody received it that way. I think everybody received this as an album he's been working on for forever, something that's going to really knock us on our asses, to, for lack of a better word, and really make us, think about how he put his wordplay. It did none of that for me. So, was our expectations bad, or did we not? Because was our expectations bad, or did he deliver poorly? I guess I'm trying to figure that out.
I think Drake, first off, I think I ain't gonna say he's been hanging with Yachty too much. I'm not gonna say that.
Bro, he has been hanging with Yachty too much.
I can't confirm nor deny that.
You listen to The Secret Recipe.
Like I said, I can't confirm nor deny that.
Yes, you can. Yachty is not the greatest wordsmith, but he's cool to listen to, and I think that's what happened here. I think Drake got influenced by Yachty's. I'm not saying that they're mediocre, but they're like bars of the time, and that I think that kind of encompassed what he put out. I think Yachty has grown a lot, but Drake was been there since, so far gone. So if you're regressing back to that and not even putting out quality music as so far gone, you're falling back to those lines that may not have been the greatest received. And again, and maybe it's because we got so familiar with Drake that he has now become he's become very much so easily critiquable because we have so much of his catalog already. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, this felt off, and it felt like he was influenced by the wrong things. And it did not hit well. Josh, did you listen to this album? Or no?
No, I have not. Last Drake album I listened to probably came out more than 10 years.
Jeez Louise. Alrighty, so he has nothing to input here. Okay, well, Jalen, what do you think? What do you think about his history? What do you think about so far gone to now? Like, do you think that this is? Do you think this is more of the same, and we just had our expectations way too high, or do you think it was I think you already kind of said it. You said it was it was a step back.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing I was getting at when I was even breaking down some of the lyrics, some of the content, or I'm gonna just try to go to a couple different things. Okay, some of the content of the songs. He's talking about, like I said, I went over talking about like the strippers, the ages and stuff like that. Then you go to how he's talking about how some of these, first off, the album is called For the Dog. So like you said, twist your face up, this, that, and the third. That wasn't happening there because he has a lot of the songs in there, he sounds like he getting dog walked. You know what I mean? It don't sound like it's for the dogs. It's like he's getting dog walked. So you taking in that consideration, he delayed it. Anytime you delay something, you got ramifications with the hype train, bro. Like, he delayed the album. I want to make sure it's this, that, and the third, because I don't want to delay the concert or cancel or something like that. All right, so now we got that aspect to take into consideration. Then when we do get it, I would have been more fine with something like a Certified Lover Boy type of esque going on, because it felt, like I said, a tad bit more mature. But we didn't get none of that. We started getting, like you said, the little Yachty stuff, the Yeet. Granted, I do the Yeet song. I'm not like the biggest fan of it. It's something different, but it got a decent beat. But it's just the type of songs in there, and then how they change the little interlude type of thingies in there. You got the radio dookie talking about roof, raise the roof, bark, pooper, scooper, radio. All that type of stuff is very distracting, to the point where when I was letting the song play through, I had to keep looking at my phone like, hold on, did the song change? Is this the interlude? What is going on? Like, and then I think, we had a conversation about it. I was like, is this something I can just skip some parts of the song and just, let it go to the next song, because it's very distracting. So taking in all those considerations, the little, like I said, the Yachty, the little Yeet, he got granted the Sexy Red song, I don't like the lyrics and stuff, but the beat is catchy. You take into consideration all those things, and I just think the album, I ain't gonna say it missed, because I was still listening to it. I just think it didn't deliver as hard as I thought it would be, based on, like you said, some of his previous works and knowing what he can do. I would say this album is next to, as far as like his strength, is next to Scorpion. So, it didn't hit as hard as I thought it would be. The expectation, some of the content in the songs, or just all those sorts of things, I wasn't satisfied with. So,
I'm trying to figure out if he has it still in him. That's what my worry is.
Does he have?
I think
what,
he does. I think he does. I just think at that
he
point
does.
he wasn't looking for that. He was just giving us something for the summer. And now he's taking a long time off. I think his next album is probably going to be some straight fire. But for me, for all the dogs, that not hit well. It was not received in a way I thought it was going to be received. And even though it may sell well, I think there is a very clear slide in production. And you definitely do not want to get over on a album called For All the Dogs. You do not want to be shown up by another rapper, especially when that rapper is J. Cole. It's tough to rhyme and put words together, but you definitely could have did more than what you did, and I feel like that helped the narrative that Drake isn't a great MC. I think he's a great MC. I just think that this has become more about Drake and Cole than actually Drake. I think it's like comparing the two when it really should just be about the body of work, and I think the body of work was lacking anyway. It's not that verse that killed it for him. It was literally just a lack of body of work that did not sound good, wasn't catchy enough. Heard those types of hooks and sounds too many times over now. It really was something to provide us a better perspective on Drake, and it just gave us more about women and how they did them wrong. So it's just tough. So,
which is very on par for Drake.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's just at this point in time, it's just like you can't say it for all the dog. I think it's just the expectation that kind of really took a hit. That made the album take the hit. From my standpoint, it was the expectation, and it didn't deliver the way I thought it would. So,
yeah. Okay. Well, I'll leave it at that. I don't really want to go too far over. We're already at the hour 36 mark. But I want to thank you guys as always. We always have a lot to talk about. We don't get to everything every time, but we got more stuff in the tuck. We're gonna talk about some more stuff moving forward. But I want to appreciate the people that made it to this part of the podcast. You're pretty much the OGs. Thankful for you every day, and I want to just say we're blessed for that. We're blessed for the people that get here. So thank you. But you can always check us out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, because I put this up on YouTube too. Check us out wherever you be, and we'll meet you there. But thank you all for listening. And anything else before we get out of here, Jalen or Josh? Any words of wisdom from the greats? No words of wisdom. Don't eat Starbucks. It's a scam. Okay.
Stay tight with your gangy.
With your gangy. With your gangy. Yeah. No, thank you.
Gangy walls.
That's how she want to be. She down with the gangy. But yeah. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. As always, we will talk to you all next week. Peace.